starts right now.
The party continues on the St. Mary's Strip just a week after an agreement. The city is delaying parking barricades in nearby neighborhoods. The reason why, coming up.
And a new tactic to combat gun violence in San Antonio, how one group hopes to expand its efforts from city streets to local hospitals.
Also, a new human smuggling investigation in San Antonio. What needs to happen to make sure it's the last, coming up. But first, now we start with breaking news. A massive brush fire continues to burn in Medina County. More evacuations are happening right now. People are being told to leave their homes. Firefighters in Bexar County shared this photo that you see here. It was taken from the medical center earlier today. And by the looks of it, you could just see how much smoke was in that area.
Yeah, this is a story that we've been following since the news at 6. The Medina County Sheriff's Office confirms 400 acres have burned so far, and it continues to spread. 3 county roads have been evacuated. That's 2651, 2652, and 2615. Those who have been evacuated are being directed to a nearby gas station.
Now, meteorologist Adam Caskey is also tracking this story for us tonight. And Adam, just yesterday we were talking about, oh, no fires, how great this is. But unfortunately, here we are today.
Yeah, it can happen so quickly, too. And the conditions are very dry, not just the ground, but the air, and even the slightest breeze can help spread these fires. We didn't even have much of a wind today, but you look at the satellite imagery and you can really pinpoint the fire as it flared up this afternoon just south of Medina Lake, kind of in the northeast corner of Medina County. And this plume of smoke has spread across parts of western Bexar County. I even saw it here downtown earlier this evening. One element here is the very dry air. Now, earlier today, the relative humidity was down in the single digits to near 10%. Now it's up to 22%, but still the air is dry. So this means the air is holding about 20% of the moisture that it can at the given temperature right now. We'll be back to talk about how the moisture content of the air is going to be changing in the days ahead, when it's actually going to feel muggy again outside, and an update on our next chance of storms, along with more temperature spreads for the weekend coming up.
Adam, thank you. Now on the Nightbeat, new tonight, there is a new way to protect families from gun violence, and it involves our local hospitals. We know that in February alone, at least 17 people were shot and killed in San Antonio.
Yeah, members with Stand Up SA know just one shooting could lead to more if someone decides to retaliate. It's why they establish relationships in communities in hopes of breaking that cycle. And now Stand Up SA wants to take that courage and credibility to local hospitals starting this spring.
If we reduce shootings in the community, if we turn some people around and made them a positive instead of a negative person in the community, that's success for us.
Stand Up SA's program manager is hoping to do what about 85 communities in the U.S. are already doing inside Trauma One hospitals, reaching victims of shootings.
Violence is the leading cause of death for Black boys and men. It's the second leading cause of death for Latinos.
The Health Alliance for Violence Intervention, or HAVI, trains community outreach workers and participating hospitals to work to reduce violence. They're helping Stand Up SA kick off a program here in San Antonio.
When they have been shot or are harmed and they come to the hospital, there's actually a window of opportunity to connect, to inspire, to build a relationship.
Fatima Lauren Dreyer, CEO of HAVI, says the program is just one part in a larger ecosystem of programs working to combat violence. She points to Oakland, a mid-sized city that invested into different community programs, including HAVI. She says the city sustained a 50% reduction in violence over a 6-year period. Dreyer says oftentimes the people injured are also involved in the crime.
Our work is to reach them and provide the care and support they need to transform their lives.
Success takes community support and funding. The hope is that Stand Up SA will learn and lead too.
My team has been there. They've done that. They made their life change. So now they want to help somebody else make their life change.
And Stand Up SA's hospital intervention branch is expected to start in April. HAVI says it's also working with Harris County and Austin to start similar programs. But advocates say there are other pieces to this puzzle that need to be addressed in order to reduce violence, like access to housing. And just tonight, we're learning about a new shooting case. Police say a man was driving when he was shot in the head. There was also a woman in the car, but she is okay. It happened near General McMullen and El Paso Street on the city's west side. Officers don't know if the gunman was also driving or standing by nearby. The victim was taken to University Hospital in critical condition.
And now new developments in a deadly shooting by a Bexar County Sheriff's deputy. The Bexar County District Attorney now defending the decision to dismiss the manslaughter charge against that deputy. A grand jury indicted Deputy Brandon Moran on a manslaughter charge after shooting and killing Jesus Garcia back in 2020. Days later, that charge was dismissed. District Attorney Joe Gonzalez says that that's because of two things. One, there's a state law that allows officers to use lethal force to stop an aggravated kidnapping. And in this case, he said, quote, Deputy Moran discovered Jesus Garcia in possession of a potentially lethal weapon while also pinning his wife on the ground and refusing to let her go. We would have to disprove that. This defense applied beyond a reasonable doubt, and we do not believe that we can do that, end quote. Now, the second reason centered around trying to disprove that the deputy tried to defend the life of Garcia's wife, which they also said they could not do. Since the charge was dismissed, the sheriff's office confirms that he will return to duty.
It will be a few more months before we learn the professional fate of a fired San Antonio police officer. Elizabeth Montoya is trying to win her job back after she punched a pregnant woman who was handcuffed in 2018. Now, in the final day of arbitration hearings today, Montoya defended her handling of the suspect.
She was just screaming in my face, and she was very close. I was afraid that I was either going to get spit on or headbutted.
Montoya described her actions as rabbit punches and not full-on haymakers. She has documented history of issues with interacting with the public. Right now, it will be up to an arbitrator to decide if Montoya should get her job back. That decision could take several months.
Now, what started as a crash escalated into something a lot bigger, a human smuggling case, in fact. So let's take it back here and take it from the beginning. So there was a crash southwest of San Antonio near I-35 and Kinney Road. Bexar County deputies say they were trying to pull over a vehicle that was going over 100 miles an hour when it crashed. No one was injured, but they did arrest 2 people and detained 3 migrants. Over in Uvalde, a similar situation took place. Now, this time, authorities pulled over a tractor trailer, and when they looked inside, they found 46 migrants. That happened Wednesday morning, and now the driver in this case is facing a human smuggling charge. Now, some people that we spoke with say that unfortunately this is common. The night team's John Paul Barajas spoke with a professor, about the tactics that smugglers are using and why parents should watch out for who their teens are talking to online. Watch this.
Oh, it's happening all the time. I mean, at least once a month we're hearing about it. Hear about it in Lido or hearing it down the street on McDonald Lacoste. I mean, it's a lot.
Steve Veselavic lives near Von Army. Earlier this month, a couple in that area was arrested for having 8 stolen trucks that were believed to be used for human smuggling. And back in early February, a resident in the same area tipped the sheriff's office off about people being taken off one big truck and forced into smaller vehicles. A professor with St. Mary's University, Claudia Donoso, called this smuggling tactic the divide and conquer.
Somebody's following 2 specific small trucks, but at least you were able to pass the others. It is a good strategy to distract attention and to disperse and conquer their goal, that is smuggling these people illegally.
The Bexar County Sheriff's Office is aware of this technique, and there's a reason why this type of activity happens near San Antonio. Homeland Security has said our proximity to the border and our system of freeways allows smugglers to travel east, west, north, and south. Human smuggling could lead to jail time, but Professor Donoso explains people in need of money usually take the risk. She says teens who are in unstable homes or who are on their own usually see the promise of money online.
Now, in the age of mass media, Facebook, many people are start using fake profiles or sometimes not too fake and they start recruiting people.
Professor Donoso says to stop human smuggling, we have to address the issues in the countries that people are fleeing from, adding if we take away the market, smugglers will no longer have a job. John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
Thanks, John Paul. And now for a look at some of the other big headlines tonight. What started as a cold case, now ending in a guilty verdict. Today, a jury found Larry Moore guilty of killing 25-year-old Dianna Lowry in 1987. This is the second time that Moore faced charges in this case. Back in 2005, charges were dismissed, but years later, investigators found DNA analysis and then arrested Moore. With today's guilty verdict, Moore faces life in prison. A police officer was hit as a couple of suspects tried to get away. It happened in Schertz as an officer was looking into a call for car burglaries. So this is near Lower Seguin Road and FM 1518. Investigators say the officer wasn't seriously hurt when he was hit, fired at the getaway car. Neither of the two men were hit. Both bailed out of the car, ran off. Police eventually did catch one suspect. The other is still on the loose, and police think that the car that they were in was stolen. And here's a picture right here that just might say it all for you. The Alamo Dome completed its final day as a mass vaccination site. The last bit of scaffolding was being put away today. As you know, Metro Health first opened up the mass site in January of last year. And at its peak, about 3,500 people a day were going there to get their COVID shots. But now that's dropped to an average of about 50 vaccines a day. And that drop in demand is exactly why the place just closed. But there's still plenty of other places for you to go and get your COVID shots, and we have them listed for you on our website, KSAT.com. And that's a look at your Nightbeat News Flash.
Comfortable evening, comfortable night out there, at least for now. Temperatures will cool off quite a bit more. I mean, we're 67 degrees. We'll drop another 17 to near 50 at sunrise tomorrow morning. But get ready for a big temperature spread throughout the day again tomorrow. We're going to tell you how warm it's going to get and where, and talk about what our next storm chance is back in the picture coming right up.
Plus, parking barricades aren't happening this weekend along St. Mary's. We'll tell you when that process will now start and how residents are responding to the delay.
Also, San Antonio police are working a mail theft case. One suspect was caught on camera. We're going to talk about what else investigators want you to watch out for. It's next on the Night Beat. Welcome back. Now we want you to take a really good look at your screen tonight because San Antonio police are looking for a man and a woman who were at the scene of a mail theft. Happened last month at the Avalon Apartments on Eisenhower Road. Police say that the man in the pictures that you see there damaged mailboxes, took mail, and even burglarized some vehicles. There was also a woman in the red vehicle that police say the pair got away in. If you know who they are or if you have any information in the case, you can call the East Property Crimes Unit at 210-207-7642.
Now to a Nightbeat update. Neighbors near the St. Mary's strip of bars will have to wait a little longer before streets are closed off to bar hoppers. They were expecting some road closures to happen this weekend, but a parking study has to get underway first. The city hopes the study will help find ways to reduce parking problems, violence, and noise issues in the Tobin Hill neighborhood. Road barricades proposed for the area will be delayed until next weekend. From there, the study and the barricades will continue on alternate weekends. Despite the delay, the representatives for the neighborhood is pleased to see some progress.
We're glad to see something being tried, and that's what's important. Let's remember that this is a pilot program and it's going to be trial and error. We're just glad to see the city and SAPD stepping up and trying something. And they're very excited to see the results of the parking study and if there's some sort of residential parking protection for us that comes out of that.
And the parking study is expected to wrap up in May. Business owners also launched a set of voluntary business standards that they hope will help reduce the noise, crime, and parking issues. That includes raising drink prices and increasing the age limit for entry.
For 2 years, the pandemic put the Cesar y Chavez March on hold, but that's going to change tomorrow when the March for Justice takes place in San Antonio. It not only honors the civil rights leader, the event is also a chance to speak about the challenges in our community and also give back. The campaign is going to collect canned food for the food bank. Tomorrow's event will start at the intersection of Guadalupe and Brazos Streets and end at Hemisphere Plaza.
And we are 1 week away from the start of Fiesta. I know some of you are already making plans on how to make the best of your time. NIOSA is trying to help you with that. You can buy your e-tickets online ahead of time so you don't have to stand in line. And also remember, you'll need blast passes. No cash or credit will be accepted. If you want to get ahead, buy your Blast Pass online and pick it up tomorrow at the Fiesta store behind North Star Mall from 10 to 6 or daily at the NIOSA office on South Pereza. NIOSA is April 5th through the 8th.
Ooh, and we're all getting excited about all things Fiesta, like you said, Patty. Now we're going to take a live look outside here, and we're just getting, I mean, the camera looks like it's not too clear right there, but it's just, we're getting a look over I-10 right there. Not too much traffic, which is a good thing, but you know that changes around Fiesta time. 70 degrees right now, Adam. Let's talk about the weekend.
Yeah, and you know, temperature is going to drop about another 20 degrees between now and sunrise tomorrow. So it's another one of those days where we have the big temperature spread. I mean, look at this. Earlier this morning, 41 degrees. Then by the afternoon, we made it to 87. We're talking a 46-degree difference from the morning into the afternoon. So when you have to dress in layers, you want a jacket in the morning, but shorts and short sleeves later on in the day. Tomorrow's going to be similar, just not quite as drastic of a temperature change. So take a look at our morning temperatures, right near 50 degrees through the weekend, and then we get into early next week. And we're significantly warmer for those morning low temperatures in the lower 60s by Tuesday morning. So that's going to shrink the gap between the morning and afternoon quite a bit. Dew point at 26. We talked earlier about the dry air. Relative humidity at 21%. So the air is holding 21% of the moisture that it can at our given temperature. Warmer temperatures can hold more moisture. That's why it's a relative humidity. And the reason why we reference the dew point, it's more direct. Dew points right now still in the 20s, so they're on the low end. They are going to change a little bit in the coming days. I mean, we're talking this weekend, dew points getting up to 40 degrees on Sunday. So still dry air, but we're going from desert dry air just into normally dry air, if you will. And then muggy conditions by Tuesday. You'll notice the humidity back in place and sticky and muggy outside. That's going to lead to the warmer mornings as well. The temperatures right now, comfortable. 60s, some 70s, Kennedy 67, Hondo 72 degrees, 74 right now in Uvalde, Bulverde 73. But remember, these temperatures will be dropping quickly. And by tomorrow morning, this is what we're expecting. Right near 50 and in the upper 40s in some outlying areas. Comfort 48, Converse at 50, and Castroville 48 in the morning. But then by the afternoon, we're right up to 90 degrees. So if you're going to be outside for a prolonged period from the morning on into the afternoon, you want to dress accordingly because you may feel a little cool in the morning, but later on in the day, we're going to be right up near 90 with a lot of sunshine. A southerly breeze tomorrow at 10 to 20, so a little windy at times, especially in the afternoon. Upper level high, Big Blue H over Phoenix. That's going to be influencing our weather through the weekend and Monday. Our next chance of rain is near Alaska, and that's not going to make it near us until Tuesday. So dry this weekend, a little windy at times for the afternoon, some gusts up to 25. Saturday and Sunday, pretty much identical days. Morning fog on Monday, and that Tuesday night, right now, still just a 30% chance, but a lot can change. So we'll keep you updated and check back in.
So how do you dress for those kind of weekends? It's kind of like wear shorts.
Layers.
And
yeah,
just
exactly. Layer it up.
A warm hat, and we'll see what happens.
And then you just basically take it off as the day wears on. All right. The Spurs. This is a must-win game that we're talking about tomorrow.
Yeah, and they heard that same speech Friday a week ago when they just got blown up by New Orleans. But time now is running out. Only 9 games left in the regular season. They got to pick up some ground. That means they got to win tomorrow against New Orleans. We'll talk to the Spurs after practice today, and some concerning questions during Deshaun Watson's introduction today in Cleveland coming up. Our San Antonio Spurs held a road practice today in New Orleans to get ready for the rematch with the Pelicans tomorrow night. That's after they were embarrassed by the Pelicans in San Antonio last Friday, 124-91. Since that game, they won back-to-back games against the Warriors and the Blazers on their 4-game road trip and now get a chance at revenge against New Orleans tomorrow. But the Pelicans have put more distance between them and the Silver and Black with an upset victory over the Bulls last night, 126-109, to expand their lead to 2 games over the Spurs and move into that 9th play-in position ahead of the Lakers.
We're just a couple games behind, but we knew we had a game against New Orleans still coming. So yeah, there's plenty of opportunity for us. Obviously, the game against them is going to be a big game for us, but yeah, we'll do our best to come out on top.
All right, Lonnie Walker IV is out with back spasms still. Devin Vassell questionable with sore Achilles. The Houston Cougars are headed to their second straight Elite Eight with a chance for their second straight Final Four. That's after they were able to upset number 1 seed Arizona in the South Regional, being played right here in San Antonio at the AT&T Center. That's after they were able to hold off the Wildcats with their powerful defense that has been the signature of head coach Kelvin Sampson since he took over in 2014. On offense, the Cougars were led by Jamal Shed with his 21 points. Right behind him, Kyler Edwards, 19 points, including 5 3-pointers in the wire-to-wire 72-60 victory.
Just our attitude towards the game, once we come out of the locker room, we feel like we're supposed to be here at all times, We're always feeling like we're the toughest team out there, and, we always try to play like it, We always have each other's back, and then I think that's just the most important thing right there. We can't be scared of anybody if we all are together and just trying to go at it all the time.
For the Villanova Wildcats, this is their first trip to the Elite Eight since they won the national championship back in 2018 against Michigan in the Alamo Dome. Now they'll just be 2-point favorites when they face Houston tomorrow in the AT&T Center. The Wildcats are coming off their 63-55 victory over Michigan in the first game of the doubleheader last night, led by Jermaine Samuels with 22 points. After the game, the Wildcats are asked about their plans for today.
We got to rest up. We can learn a little bit watching film. It's about surviving now.
First and foremost, taking care of our bodies, hydrating, getting the proper sleep, and then just doing whatever we can to keep our bodies in check. Stretching, ice, cold tubs, whatever it takes to make sure that we're ready to play and ready to play at our full potential.
And it'll be an early tip time tomorrow, just after 5 o'clock. NCAA Women's Tournament Sweet 16. Texas is moving to the Elite Eight with their 66-63 victory over Ohio State. Deshaun Watson introduced as the Cleveland Browns' new quarterback today among some concerns. Next.
Pro football coverage powered by Davis Law Firm.
Just one day after another grand jury failed to indict him on criminal charges, the Cleveland Browns introduced Deshaun Watson as their new quarterback following the blockbuster trade with the Houston Texans. But right out of the gate, reporters wanted to know from Deshaun how he could calm concerned fans as he still faces 22 civil lawsuits from women who claim he sexually assaulted them during massaging.
I understand the whole circumstances is very difficult, especially for the women's side of the fans in this community. I'm not naive to that. I know these allegations is very, very serious. But like I've mentioned before, I've never assaulted any woman. I never disrespected any woman. I was raised by a single-parent mom who has 2 aunties who's her sister, and that's who raised me. I was raised to be genuine and respect everyone and everything around me. So I've always defended that, and I will continue to stand on that. And I just want the opportunity to be able to show who I really am in the community and be hands-on and help people and serve other people.
Former Kerrville Tivy, Texas A&M, and Cleveland Browns quarterback Johnny Manziel says he is returning for his second season for fan-controlled football, which is 707 indoor football, but admits his formal football career in his eyes is over, according to ESPN, saying he doesn't have the drive to play high-level football anymore. Manziel won the Heisman as a freshman at Texas A&M, was a first-round draft pick by the Browns in 2014, but his NFL career lasted only 2 years. Boys soccer playoffs, Class 6A bi-district round. Clemens taking on the defending state champion Lee Volunteers second half. Buffalo's go on the attack. Christian Govea's shot is deflected back out of the box, but as he goes down, senior Marco Velasquez finds the back of the net to break the ice. Is 1-0 Clemens. Vols looking for an answer in the final minute, but Noah Villegas is there for the save on the corner kick. The Buffs are moving on with a hard-fought 1-0 victory. Also in Class 6A tonight, Steele hosting Johnson. No score until midway through the second half. Jarrett Stogner takes it in himself, cuts left, scores on a brilliant strike. Beautiful goal, makes it 1-0. Jaguars with 21 minutes left in regulation. Nice looking for the equalizer in the final seconds. They're not going to get it. Goalkeeper Patrick Gale comes up with the last stop to secure the shutout. Johnson advances here. Go for it. 1-0. Now that is awesome. Looks like Ozzie Smith, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And you can see more of this, of all these matches, plus some post-match interviews coming up on KSAT.com tonight.
I want to see a replay of that.
That was awesome. That was awesome.
We'll be right back. It's been a pleasure having you with us tonight. That does it for the Night Beat. Don't forget that Good Morning San Antonio starts at 6 o'clock tomorrow.
Have a great night and a good weekend.